right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to tonight's live live stream. If you're watching on the replay, feel free to comment down below hashtag replay fam if you're watching this on YouTube and if you're watching on on the replay, right? But either way, feel free to fast forward wherever you need to or you want to, and just enjoy the live, enjoy the readings, and also remember that whenever we do readings, you know, spirit works in all of these different ways, right? Spirit works through all of us. So if something resonates, take it. How does it apply to your life? If something doesn't resonate, don't take it. Don't try to make it fit where it doesn't fit, right? So take what resonates, leave what doesn't, use your discernment. You're a magnificent, freaking powerful creator, so it's important to use your discernment, right? Because we're in a big container of all the people. Hey Britt, how are you? What's up, Chachi? Thank you for liking the live. Yes, please like the live, share it out. That would be great. That gets us into the algorithm, and it lets you know, it know that we're here and we're doing the thing tonight. So feel free to like the live and share it out. As for my family that are watching tonight, welcome. We're doing readings, right? Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday nights we're doing readings, free and paid. Merry Meet, yes, absolutely. Hi. Wow, that's a very interesting name. I'm going to attempt to pronounce it. Is it Bethel-Idegard? Wow, I can't even say. Angie, Angie, you're ready. Got it. I love it. You already knew that I was going to struggle. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. For my people who are watching the live, thank you again for watching. And let me know in the comments where you're watching from. You know, let me know where you're watching from as we kind of get started doing the things. Very cool. Okay, Battle-Dagard. Okay, I was missing a letter in there. Thank you for that, Angie. I really appreciate that. We got California in the house. We got Mississippi. We got Hawaii. I love that. Oahu, welcome. California again. Texas. It's always hot in here. I love it. We got Virginia, Missouri. All right, my dears. So welcome. My name is Angelica. I am a shadow alchemist and a transformation architect. I help people really transform their internal reality, because our internal reality is, you know, especially our unconscious, is what helps create our reality, our external reality. And I help people internally transform so that they can feel more empowered, inspired, uplifted to just create the life they love. So that's what I do. We got Indiana in the house. We got Virginia in the house. I am also from, I didn't say, I'm from Colorado. So that's me. And we are going to be offering free and paid readings tonight. So who would like a free reading or even a paid reading? If you'd like a free reading, let me know. Let me know in the comments who would like a free reading. Thank you for liking the live, Aaliyah. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the follow, Dana. me. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So here's how we do it. Here's how I kind of do it. And I'm workshopping new ways of how to let you guys know what I'm doing or how to participate. So feel free to give me ideas, but this is how I currently do it. So I use my little cards here, right? So free readings, you just comment with your name and a question. It can be yes or no questions. It can be open-ended questions. It can be about love, health, career. It can be about your spiritual journey, your alignment. It can be, you know, about your sensitivities, your psychic abilities. It could be all the things, right? I don't do pregnancy or fertility readings. And just keep in mind, you know, my free readings are going to be short. I mean, see that, you can see that. And or you can or you can ask for like a 1-card pool, right? And I'll include with that some kind of message for you. Right, so that's how you get a free reading. You just comment with your name, and you know, and you can also be open if you're just open to spirit, to what wants to kind of come to you. You can do that too, right? So I love that you guys are doing all of the things, and just keep commenting and keep putting your questions in there, and I will get to as many as I can. As far as my paid services, like I said, like I mentioned before, I also do have paid services tonight, in addition to my free readings, right? So my paid services, I'm gonna put that like really, really close onto the camera. So I have in-depth readings, I have quantum healing, mediumship, and this MD right here is multi-dimensional mediumship. And I have light language activations and healing readings, right? So if you have any questions about paid services or anything like that, please feel free to put those in the comments as well, because that helps everybody, really, to be honest. And if you do want a paid service, or you're interested in like an in-depth reading, something that's more contextual and expansive than just like a short little thing, the way you pay is or donate. All the links to donate are in my profile. So you go there, click that, you scroll down, there's Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and then you just come back here and let me know in the comments you donated, right? Because I don't always get the notifications on my phone right away. So is that pretty comprehensive? I think that's pretty comprehensive. So let me kind of scroll back up to see. Because I seen a couple. Thank you guys for commenting. Just keep on putting your questions in the comments, because sometimes they don't show up. Sometimes I don't see them. Thank you for the roses, Chachi. Thank you for the. Okay, I think I already said that. I think I already said that. Ooh, very interesting. So Jessica, does this new job align with my highest path? This is a really good question. Who is that? Thank you for all of the roses that you just sent. I don't know. It's a gorge. That's all I seen. So thank you for that. So Jessica, so I'm just going to I'm going to locate your energy first and find you, and then just tap into this new job. And based off of kind of what I get intuitively, I'll let you know. But you know, ultimately, you also, Jessica, remember, you also are the ultimate authority over your life. So you have ultimate discernment. I can just tell you what I see, and then you get to incorporate that or not. So Jessica, job. Okay, so let me just go down to the career path for you. So what I'm hearing for you, Jessica, is it aligns for now. There's going to be a deeper alignment as you kind of move forward into next year, and it kind of feels like it kind of midway through next year, you might start feeling a deeper call, or a call for a deeper alignment, or opportunities for a deeper alignment. But yes, for now it feels pretty good. However, there's something coming in from your higher self of like, don't yes also, or yes and, like a improv thing of like yes and it kind of comes in. Let's see, how do I read this? it kind of gives me the sense of like, don't settle, or don't feel like this is like your final resting place. You're going to be called into a higher degree of alignment, but it does feel really, really promising for right now. Yeah. So I hope that helps you, Jessica. And thank you for allowing me to read for you. And what's the mediumship? So the mediumship, okay, so celestial bridge. Oh, I like that. Celestial bridge. So the mediumship, oh, sorry. Let me see. This one right here, right? So mediumship and multi-dimensional mediumship. So it's kind of an and or not an and or, it's an or. It's an or thing, right? So mediumship or multi-dimensional mediumship. I do mediumship a little bit different. So if you have questions about that, celestial, let me know. Multi-dimensional mediumship, though, is when I connect to, it kind of depends on who wants to come in for you. So sometimes that's a guardian angel. Sometimes that's like your higher self that wants to come in. Sometimes it's another multi-dimensional aspect of you that wants to support you or help you in some kind of way or some kind of aspect of your life to help you, you know, release resistance. A lot of times there's energy work and light codes that come in. So it's like a whole ordeal type of thing. So let me know if that makes sense or if you have any more questions, okay? Oh, very interesting, Sunny. So, Sunny, you said lost 3 loved ones in the past 3 months. That's big. So I'm sorry that you've experienced such loss. That's a lot of transformation that's around you, which is also really exciting amidst all of the loss and the grief that's coming up. So you're asking it, does anyone need to contact me? You know, Sunny, I don't know if your mom has recently is one of those people, but right away I get mom. So I'd have to have a more, you know, I'd have to have a more one-on-one, not necessarily one-on-one, but like have you respond. But it feels like mom. And that's if your mom has even passed, but there's something having to do with mom that comes in from me. So let me know. Oh yeah, celestial. Okay, so I have, let me see if I can come catch up on some of these. It's okay. Let me kind of scroll through the comments a little bit because I'm pretty far behind and I just want to make sure. So if you answered me and I for whatever reason didn't see that, please just put your response back in the chat because I was about 70 some comments behind. Interesting. I have a lot of so Elizabeth, you're asking if you could tell you if your husband that passed has any messages. Let me just kind of check in and fill into that. Husband. Okay, there. So sometimes it takes me a little bit to get quiet and hear because one of my biggest senses is clairaudience, so I have to get really silent. I do get a sense of you got this, keep going. You got this, babe, keep going. There's also the sense of like support. I'm here. You know, there's this other kind of message coming through of like you might feel like you're alone, but you're not alone. You actually have more support than you give yourself credit for, and you have more support than you actually know. So that's kind of like a more general messages that are coming in, but it really does give like the main message there is like, keep going, you got this. More of like trust in yourself, trust in your capability. You're moving through a lot, so give yourself some grace. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there, but that's what I'm feeling from your husband, Elizabeth. So let me know how that resonates. Yeah, Alicia, go ahead and ask for sure. Oh, so okay, so Celestial, thank you for answering that. So it makes sense. I got you. So mediumship is past loved ones. Yeah. So mediumship is past loved ones, people who were in human form and connected to you in some way. And I will say with mediumship, I have had people that, you know, past ancestors that people don't quite know come up in that too. So it can bring up a lot. I do a lot of ancestral work, so I tend to attract those who are here to like change cycles, break cycles, kind of do that whole like kind of generational kind of healing and ancestral healing, that type of thing. And multidimensional mediumship, that's going to be spirit guides, higher self, guardian angels, etc. Does that make sense? Okay, so let me scroll through some of these messages again. Robin, or Robin's Shimmer and Sparkle. So Robin, I'm going to call you Robin. You said, is my family under spiritual attack? So let me just tune in here. Here's the first thing I get. There's like a victim energy, and anything with like energetically speaking. So when we hold a frequency of victimhood, like being a victim, it's also going to attract the other side of the coin. So like perpetrators, right? That want to, whether it's energetically, whether they're in human form, whatever the case is, you know, if we hold a frequency that I'm a victim, we also attract the opposite, the equal and opposite. It's just kind of like the empath with the narcissist. They're one and the same. They're two sides of the same coin. So I get a lot of victim energy in your lineage. And when we hold that, again, it's going to create openings. It's going to create that energetic environment to bring in the counterpart to that, which is a perpetrator or I'm trying to think of another word, but yeah. So it feels like it's really, really at the root of that. What I would be more, not concerned with, but like what I would be focused on more is the fact that there's a lot of victimhood and victim consciousness in your family lineage that is creating that dynamic. I hope that makes sense, Robbins. And let me know how that resonates, or, you know, if you need a little bit more clarification with that. Yeah. Thank you. And thank you for all the follows. Kiki, thank you. Anna, new here from the FYP. Well, thank you for coming here. The MD, but it's the mediumship with spirit. Yeah, the multidimensional mediumship is like with spirit guides, etc., etc. Yeah. I hope that I'm still catching up on the comments, so I hope that makes sense, Celestial. You're so welcome, Elizabeth. I'm glad that resonates and that yeah, that hits home for you. Thank you, Anna. Oh, Journey. So prices. So it's free and paid. So free readings, you just comment with your name and a question, right? And I'm responding to you, Journey, or Journey's mama. but I don't want to call you mama, so that's kind of weird. But my paid services, here are my paid services. Okay, so I'll just flash those on the screen again. And those are all of my paid services. So if you do want a paid service or you're interested in that, the way to pay or to get in to pay is you go to the link in my bio and you donate there. So there's Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and then you come back here and you let me know in the comments that you donated, right? And then you just let me know what service you paid for so I can get you in there. And all of the people that donate for a reading or a paid service, those people come first. Generational curses, yeah. Well, yeah, generational curses, but also generational trauma, things like that. So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for assisting me in my wordage. I love that. Kelso, this is a really good question. I'm told I need to release emotional blocks, but I feel like I've done everything. Here's the thing. You've never done everything. It's actually, and this is no judgment towards you. It's actually, it's part of like, it's actually quite arrogant to feel like we've done everything. You've never done everything. There's infinite layers. And especially here on the human plane, if you think of all of the people that have all of the different kinds of trauma, and we all have similar traumas because we're human and we have, we've been here on earth, and we're all subjected to the same patterns. So you've never done everything. And, in addition to that, there's always something more to expand into. So it's not only arrogant, but it's also short-sighted. And it's also, it just also speaks to, it can also speak to just, the things that you haven't quite unlocked yet, right? So let me just kind of tune in here and see if, yeah. The biggest, I would say or at least the one that stands out for me is the one in the heart. You're still holding on to grief there. And here's the thing, we think we've done everything, but you don't know what's in your unconscious as well. Yeah. So keep that in mind. We can only be conscious of like a couple of different things at a time, a little bit more than a couple. I can't remember how many, it's like 7 or something, like consciously keeping track of them. But your unconscious has like trillions of, like billions or trillions of bits of information it's keeping track of. It's automating processes. It's doing all these things, has all of these processes and associations coded up and automatically running that you don't even know of. So, there's always something there, Kelso, but I feel for you, I feel there's grief in the heart. It's also producing a heart wall and like a guard around the heart of like, nope, 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 nope. So that for me, Kelso, feels like or at least I won't say it's the biggest one, but I will say that it is the one that sticks out to me as I tune into your energy. So I hope that helps you. Heart puffs, thank you for the heart puffs. Let me know, Celestial. Let me know if you need to know how to do the whole thing, like pay and all the things. Ooh, Anna, this is a really good question. Need guidance, just resigned from my job. Congratulations. It wasn't an alignment. I'm not sure if I should expand my family. So is that the question there? Is like, should you? I mean, it's really a you thing, but I do understand. Can you clarify that for me a little bit, Anna? That would be great. Let me scroll through these things. Oh, Journey's Mama, thank you for purchasing the 1-month subscription and for subscribing. I love that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Well, okay, here, Kelso, because I just saw your other or another one of your comments. So Kelso, the emotional spectrum is so huge. So it's the I guess to kind of put it in, let's see, how do I say this? It's a little short-sighted, not short-sighted. It's like limiting. It's limiting to be like, well, what am I missing? There's so much there. There's so much there. But I would definitely start with the heart, because the heart feels a little closed. Yeah, the heart also feels like, I don't really want to feel all of these things, and it's not even your heart. It's coded up in your field to kind of avoid things, so the heart doesn't get to like fully process a lot of more uncomfortable or unpleasant, or what you might define as uncomfortable or unpleasant emotions. So anger, sadness, things like that, like, you know, gets into, they can get into all of that kind of lower spectrum of emotion. So things like that. You're welcome, Robbins. Let me catch up on some of these. Let me catch up on some of these comments. It's a gorgeous life. Thank you for all the gifts, my dear. Do you have a question, or am I missing it? Let me know if you have a question or if you'd like a reading. Okay, so Journey, my mom passed away when I was 13, and I'm 42, and I've never even had a dream about her. Just wondering if she's around me. So yeah. There is, it's been a bit of time. Let me just, one second. Let me just drop in here for a quick second. I almost get this sense of like, she's never really not with you. There's a lot of guidance. There's a lot of orchestration on her part. So I don't know if she was kind of the type of mom to kind of orchestrate and do all the things in life, in this life. But it feels like there's a lot of behind the scenes orchestration and guidance coming from her. So yeah, definitely. She's definitely not. She's not around you for sure. Just to use a fun little double negative. Oh, I get that. So Kelso says, I just mean I work so hard to heal and I'm tired. So here's the thing. I totally get that. I was there at the beginning of this year too, because we heal and we heal and we heal, like, and things keep coming up and you're like, can I just be fucking done already? And I get that. And one of the things that I learned this year, and I'll share it with you now, that the thing with the self-development world, self-help, and even healing, that, you know, the whole healing industry, and even, you know, a lot of healers, as well-intentioned as they are, where a lot of us can be oriented in a problem-solving orientation. So if you approach healing as, I need to fix all of the things about me, you're just going to keep finding all of the things to fix, because you're a powerful creator. And that also, you're also telling your unconscious mind, okay, please find more things for me to fix. Please find more things for me to heal. So really what I've learned to do is just focus on what I want to create, and then build structural tension, which is what I'll be teaching in my upcoming course, you know, of shadow integration. And you just create structural tension, and then release the resistance that's keeping you from just creating a life that you fucking love. You're not broken. You don't need to be fixed. You're not a puzzle. You don't need to be figured out. You're perfect the way you are. However, I do understand that there is some resistance, you know, and patterns and emotions and beliefs and stuff that that can create self-sabotage, inner conflicts, all the things, right? So what we do, that's why we do we focus in a different structure, which is a creative structure. What do you want to create? Let's get connected to that. And then simply release the resistance, because then over time doing that, you're literally moving the needle towards what you want to create and releasing resistance. So much easier, so much easier. And and before that, I had been doing healing in all kinds of different capacities and modalities since 2017. So I totally get, Kelso, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. So basically it's just the structure. The problem is the structure. That's the problem, because it creates this, I gotta fix myself, and then I can have what I want, and then I'll be healed. And then, so it's this, if I could only have this, and then I could have that. So it's a if then type of situation, and that problem solving structure. I hope that makes sense. But that's part of why the healing industry, it's just, we get stuck in, I need to fix this, I need to heal this, I need to do all the things. No, you don't. You're perfect. There's so many examples of people out there who are successful and who have created wealth or created whatever you're looking to create, that they didn't change themselves, you know? I'm trying to think, like Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Amy Winehouse, all these people were incredibly successful, but they didn't, like, you know, a lot of people who are successful have flaws, but they're just in a different structure. They're just focusing on what they want to create rather than what's wrong with me. Yeah. Good for you, Joey. Glad something landed. Chachi, what kind of certification, my dear? Hi, Maria. I do not do, I don't do pregnancy or fertility readings, my dear. So I will invite you to find someone that does, but I don't do those things. It's not my cup of tea. Oh, it's a gorgeous life. You just became, what is it? What did you just become? Oh my gosh. It said on the screen and then it disappeared. So you just became, what was that, #1 gifter? You became something. Thank you for that. Valley Express, you were asking about your son. Do you have like a more specific question, like specific regarding him? And the reason I ask is because I have very strict, they're my own parameters, but I have very strict parameters around reading, around reading for other people who aren't here. Does that make sense? So you can ask about a relationship, a connection, but I will not read that person without their permission, without their explicit permission. So thanks for the, nice to meet you, Joy. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Okay, it's a gorgeous life. Okay, S. So you're asking your clarity on everything, but I'll take anything. Yeah, I get it. Like, if you want clarity on all of the things, I would definitely, I would definitely encourage you to just book us like an actual session, because we can go into all the different things. But for purposes of a shorter, okay, hold on. I'm hearing to call, or I'm hearing to pull you a card. So I'm going to pull you a card. Okay. This is for you as, ooh, one just flipped over. Who or what is triggering you? That's going to give you clarity, because it's a reflection. You see that reflection going on? So who or what is triggering you? That's going to give you some, clarity. I'm actually hearing to leave it there. Do you have anything else, S? You know, if that brings up, but that's what I'm hearing to, let me see. They're like, no, your higher self's like, no, leave it there, because you already know what it is, but like there's something deeper. There's something deeper that your higher self is wanting you to explore. But here's the thing, it has to be on your own terms, and it has to be within your own choice. So you have to choose to actually go where your higher self is leading you with that question. So I would even encourage you to do some journaling on like who or what is triggering me right now. Like you can even start with the emotion. I'm angry, or I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. Start with the emotion and then start making connection. Who is it connected to? What circumstances is it connected to? And kind of delve a little deeper. But you have to actually be the one to choose, because there's something about free will and choice, and you recognizing that you have a choice in your creation, your creations. There's something else there. That you have a choice in your creations, but you also have a choice to go into the work or not. So it's kind of like creating awareness around where you're not allowing yourself to go. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm feeling for you, for you S. Let me just catch up on some of these comments. Oh, okay, I got you. That's a great way to rephrase that, Anna. So Anna is rephrasing it for me. Thank you for that. Do I have other souls wanting to join the family? Let me just, okay, Anna. Okay, so this can always shift, but at this time I don't feel anything. However, that doesn't mean there isn't or there won't be. There's also this background sense of spirit, spirit, time, they don't, well, okay, in spirit, we don't experience time the way we do here. So it's not like they're just sitting around waiting. But as of now, I don't feel anything there, but I do feel like a potential for that. But when you're in a more aligned space, so that's also going to, there's a whole contract and thing, of if you decide to align in a greater way in this life through your own choice, you got to choose that for yourself. You got to actually choose to go there. It feels like there is a potential for that one might come in, because it feels like it triggers a soul contract. So not right now. There is the potential, but there's not something like there's nobody just waiting around for you. Like, Mom, get your shit together. Hi, Jillian. How are you? It's nice to see you again. Thank you for joining. Let me come. I don't know what that means. Okay, 1 second. Let me just, I totally appreciate the different, I totally appreciate all perspectives and viewpoints. But, when we go into someone else's space and start projecting our own things, it's often a time, or it's often because we feel powerless and we don't actually believe those things. So we're trying to convince others to believe us, because what we actually want is to believe it truly within ourselves. So I just want to put that out there. I just want to put that out there. Let me, hey, where's my, oh, it's right here. So Amber, is buying a new house the right decision at this time? If so, what time frame? I don't usually get time frames. I can give it to you if it comes through, but let me just kind of tap into this, Amber. You're like, timing is off. Timing is, you'll feel the right timing, because it'll be like oh shit, now is the time. It feels like it drops in, and it won't be something that you question, Amber. It feels like it'll be something that's very in your face, and you'll be like, okay, it's time. Okay, so it feels like the timing is off. I would wait, but again, that gets to be your choice. And you know, take it or leave it. But that's what I'm feeling. Oh, you sent a donut. That's dope. Like, I love donuts. I mean, the ones that are edible, but I like that too. That was freaking, whoever sent the donut, thank you. Oh, a medical coder. So what was you're saying the certification? Chachi. So I feel like there's something, here's the thing. And let's just kind of get into it. It feels like there's a deeper purpose. Like medical, it feels like medical coding is something that kind of lights you up enough to kind of do it in order to get the money. But it feels like if you actually aligned, let me just kind of drop in here if I see if I can get something. It feels like something else is more aligned. It feels kind of more not to sound vague, but it feels more spiritual. It feels more aligned with your spirit. I guess in that sense, it would be more spiritual. It feels more aligned with your spirit. This feels more like I have programming going on, and I also have you know, needs that I need to meet, and it doesn't feel fully in alignment. It feels like there would be something else more fulfilling, more meaningful, and that would actually like really just light you up. But what I'm hearing for you is go back to when you're a kid. What did you like to do when you were a kid, Chachi? Because your inner child's got some things to share with you that is like, hey, you forgot about this. I don't know what that is. If I had like if something was coming in very clearly, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's this. But it feels like your spirit actually wants more and is dangling the carrot, so to speak. Please come this way, come this way, come this way. So it feels like something is more aligned. You know, you get to make the decision as far as like the certification. However, what I do hear for this is, hold on. Let me see if I can get the translation more accurate. If you found out, or if you all of a sudden realized that where you are at or what you're doing isn't aligned, and you actually found something else, you kind of gave yourself the permission to go explore another avenue, that's something that would be like potentially more fulfilling, more in alignment, that would just light you the F up. Would that be worth it to drop all of this right now and just go focus on that? Would that be worth it to you? Because that is the question that I'm hearing coming through. So thank you for the rose, Jillian. Okay, so let me catch up on some of these comments as I'm so behind. And then I'll just kind of go as so please feel free to keep, if I haven't answered your question, please feel free to keep putting that in the comments, because, thank you for the roses. IMC. Paula, is that you? Do I know you? Well, not know you, but like, have you been on the lives before? You're asking about the marriage in the future. I just want to see if this is the same Paula. Okay, here's the thing. So this is a really, Lori, thank you for those. I was gonna say, Imkadan. I like that. Imkadan. I'm just going to call you that. So Imkadan/Lori, and you're asking, is this person going to cheat? Here's the thing. When we ask things this way, we're going to get an answer. Okay. So if you're asking these, the way it's really a perceptional shift. So if you're already thinking, is this person going to cheat? Is this person going to cheat? You could just about guarantee 100% of the time, that means that there is coding and associations and instructions going on unconsciously that are mistrusting. So, and by even asking this, I'm not going to answer it because I really want to utilize this or use this as a way to, the way we ask questions can be really powerful, and they can be really, really empowering and put us into a place where we're inspired and uplifted and really connect in a higher way to this information. Or we can ask things like this that connect us to, again, to it's the patterns of mistrust, those things. And it's not to shame or anything like that or throw judgment at all. It's more about bringing awareness to how we orient ourselves in the world and our perception, and how we ask questions and how we use words, because words cast spells. They create a reality. Is highly indicative of the internal dialogue of the things that are going on. Thank you for the little, was it the finger heart? Thank you for the finger heart. Was it? I seen the name briefly, but thank you. I can't remember what it was. So, and yeah, thanks. Thanks. I love that. So just keep that in mind, because I'm starting to see a lot of these questions that are the way we're asking them are indicative of the internal things, right? The internal conflicts and the things and all of the things. But it's really, I mean, I'm trying. I think I lost my train of thought, but that's okay. Okay, Paula. Okay, so it was first time. So, Paula, go ahead and reiterate your question. I can't remember. I don't want to scroll all the way up because it was it was about 70 comments ago or so that I seen it. Hi. Oh, Arnessa, that was you that finger hearted me. So what's your question, my dear? Is it Arnessa or is Arnisa? It's a really unusual name. I like it. I like A names. Thank you for the follow, Amanda. Do you see me be? Oh, okay. So let's see what comes through for you, Paula. Thank you for that. Thank you for reiterating your question. And you're asking, do you see me being single for a long time? This is actually, let me drop in first, and then I'll speak from that space. Paula. Okay, I found you. So let me just look at the different timelines and things you're creating from this space. So as you're creating from this space now, I don't feel any, mates or spouses coming in. This is usually indicative for me as a reader, for someone who it's time to really lean into and, allow yourself to drop into the kind of, not necessarily personal development, because there's nothing wrong with you. You don't need to develop yourself. It's more like self-awareness and certain patterns. 1 second. There's a whole pattern of unworthiness that comes up here that usually results, it feels like pushing people away. And if we're constantly in this back and forth of, pushing our partner away, that's no fun, for either party. But there's something else there. 1 second. It came in and kind of, let's see if I can get it back. So this is really about learning awareness, self-awareness, but it's also learning to take responsibility. There's something here like that's connected to a lesson about being able to take radical responsibility for your emotions, your actions, and being able to like own your shit, and also be able to tell when someone else is projecting their shit, and so you're not taking that on. So there's also like an empathic, I would call this like an empathic thing. So it feels like you're a bit of an empath as well, that you take people's stuff on and you don't realize that it's their stuff and you're taking it on. It's like almost like a little bit of transference, but you're like internalizing other people's stuff. And so I would say there is an invitation here to do self-awareness work of where these patterns are playing out, and to make a conscious choice of like, do you want to shift them? Because that's how powerful we are. We need to be able to, part of that inner work is being able to become aware of like, oh, I'm playing out this unworthiness pattern and it's making me, this pattern is what I do is I'm creating this whole loop of actions, and I'm in that loop, I'm pushing my partner away, and it's creating this stressful environment and dynamic in our relationship. And so with that awareness, then you get to choose, this doesn't serve me anymore. I would like to release this. So there's something about consciously realizing and becoming aware and saying, I want to shift this. I prefer something different. I prefer to create something different. So I see that coming up for you, and that the space that you're actually being called to. And I get the way it comes through is that I get the sense that you're gonna be going here no matter what. However, you get to choose the degree. You get to choose how present you are, and if you want to learn, and if you're actually integrating those. So I see this whole thing being, or this opportunity being like what's presenting itself to you now, rather than this like, I'm ruminating on all of the things that I don't have. Does that make sense? So there's also this whole layer of the rumination on the things that you don't have, which may right now be that relationship that you want, but what about the relationship with yourself? Because that's where everything originates from. So that's what I'm feeling for you, Paula. Let me know how that resonates. Arnisa, okay, got you. I got you. Oh, okay, Kim, I got you. Does my mom ever visit my son? She passed in 2001 and never met him. Yeah, so how do I say this? So the people who have passed on, they can't not know who's in their lineage. At least that's how I interpret it. That's how it comes to me. They can't not know. Of course they're going to know. I'm hearing, they were all present and gathered around for his birth. I'm feeling, getting the sense your mom was front and center for that, because it was a very, I'm hearing momentous occasion. Like it was very celebrated in spirit. So absolutely, she's there. It feels like she guides him quite a bit as well. She's really focused on you, but yeah, she's definitely met him. I hope that makes sense. And I hope that gives you an understanding, like a deeper understanding. Like we can't not, when we pass on, we can't not be aware of who is, passing on, or not passing on, but extending our lineage, who is being born through our lineage. Trying to find words, but I don't always find the right words. So make your own words up if those don't suit you. Oh, okay. Our Nisa. So good question. That's a really good question. I want to know if my husband and I we're not understanding each other, or if we're just not going to make it. So when I connect to your energy, Arnisa, like just off the bat, I do hear it's like a rough patch. It's kind of like a test, but then I hear like test/testament. So it feels like it's also, and here's the thing, what I'm hearing with this also, just because it's a quote unquote test, or that I'm using that verbiage, don't take it as, if we make it, we pass, and if we don't make it, we fail. So don't go there. This isn't about pass or fail. This isn't about wrong or right or anything like that. So just keep it in there's a certain context I want you to keep this in. It just feels like a really rough patch. There's a lot of stressors. I do feel though, let's see, this feels like you. So it feels like, I don't know how to put that. So the way spirit is coming to me, let me see if I can articulate this the way that I'm feeling it. So when we are feeling some kind of way about something, so for example, maybe I feel some kind of way about money, and I have a lot of entanglements or a lot of just really disempowering beliefs about money. I can't make enough money, I'm incapable, blah, 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 right? I don't continue to focus on money because it makes me feel bad. So a lot of times what we actually need to do is focus our energy somewhere else. That doesn't mean don't be present with the relationship. That doesn't mean like don't try. That doesn't mean don't, do the things. It just simply means that sometimes we need to focus on other things in the meantime, and then it'll kind of come back around. So sometimes this is a testament, kind of a testament to things kind of work themselves out. It also is a testament to sometimes when we focus our energy somewhere over here instead of like on money, right? We're focusing over here, and then as we're focusing over here, we might actually get an inspiration or an insight about this thing over here, right? So sometimes we got to play with our awareness, and if this thing's making us feel bad, or if it's a little too stressful, we need to switch our focus. Your focus is so powerful. You need to know how to redirect it when, things are getting, things are maybe too, triggered all the time or whatever. So I hope that makes sense. But what I do feel for you is, again, like focus, self-awareness. For you, I'm feeling shadow integration. Well, I recommend that to everybody. Just in generally speaking, but I do feel it coming up for you, like something around shadow integration that's going to help you understand your own relationships, or your own patterns in relationships, and your own, your own internal operating system. So that's kind of what I feel for you. And then I kind of get the sense that there's this invitation to like an encouragement to focus on yourself and aligning yourself. And it feels like that might help bring awareness and insights for the relationship to kind of move through the static, because it kind of comes through as static for me. Because when we have this, like, we're butting heads, and I've been in that so many times. So I get it. And it comes through as static for me. So it feels like focus on you and kind of getting your alignment intact and grounded. And it feels like it'll help to cultivate awareness and insight that can actually benefit your relationship and move it into a more harmonious a more harmonious situation. That makes sense. Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, Paula, that gets to be your choice. You know, if you feel that way, then it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Because you're a powerful creator. Even when we don't feel like a powerful creator, you know, what was it? Was it Henry Ford that said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So it just feels like it feels like there is a belief there that you don't feel like you don't believe that, you know, that can happen for you. So it's like, you know, there's all this programming. I can't have this. I can't be happy. I can't do this. I'm incapable of attaining that. You know, and that creates a lot of other distortions and stories that are flowing in your head. So again, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. But if that is your perception, you know, you get to have that. So, you know, a lot of times we fight for our limitations, and guess what? You get to keep them. You're welcome, Kim. I'm glad that helps. Nada, I don't know. Oh, okay. Let's see. Was it my grandma speaking to me or someone else? I would, Nada, I wouldn't, not a chance, man. That's cute. I would need a little bit more context. Because yeah, I would need a little bit more context. Because I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. So Arnisa, yes, got you. I'm glad that made sense. Kim, thank you for the follow. Okay, so let's kind of pause. So I'm kind of caught up on all of the comments. So let's pause. Let's take a pause. And I'll just reiterate. So if you're here for a free reading, raise your hand. No, you don't have to raise your hand. But if you're here for a free reading, just comment with your name and a question. So, you know, this can also be, you can also be open. You can also be open to spirit. It can be a yes or no question. It could be, you know, a question about your spiritual abilities or your psychic abilities or, you know, your spiritual journey or whatever it is, right? Health, you know, health, career, etc. Hold on one second. I gotta put the little puzzle in the thing. There we go. Gotcha. So just comment with your name and a question and keep putting that in the comments. Yeah. And then I don't do pregnancy or fertility, just so you know. Keep in mind that the readings, the free readings, are going to be shorter, but honestly, they're usually pretty perfect if you're just wanting like some validation, right? So it's pretty cool for that. Or you could ask for a 1-card pool, right? So there are your free readings. That's how you get the free readings. If you have any questions, just ask. I will help you. As far as my paid services, I'm also offering paid services, right? So in-depth readings, quantum healing, mediumship and multidimensional mediumship, right? Light language activation, healing readings. These are my paid services, right? So I'm just going to leave that on there for a little bit. So if you do want a paid service, that's great. Awesome. All the links to donate are in my profile. So that's how you kind of donate or pay for a reading, you know, or a paid service, right? So you go to the link in my bio, you scroll down, there's Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, right? And then you just come back here and you just let me know in the comments you donated, right? So all the links to donate are in my profile. And then you just let me know in the comments you donated. So that, because one, I don't always get instant notification that someone's paid. And if you pay for a reading or pay for a service, you need to get it, right? So yeah. Okay, so thank you guys for filling up the comments again. Chachi, in mediumship, do spirits come over or sometimes, or they sometimes don't? What do you mean? Do you mean, so I usually give people the option to either be open to who wants to come through or to, tell me who they want to connect with. So it kind of depends on that. But usually if somebody is like, oh, I want to connect with so-and-so, usually that person's going to come because I can usually connect instantly through you and your connection to them because I'm an empath and I'm just like, boop, 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 boop. So it's kind of like that. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? Is the better question. Lisa Lawrence, thank you for following me. I really appreciate that. Let me know if you'd like a free reading. Laura, you're asking, one second. You said, will love come to me soon? Well, love is always around you. Love is always within you. Are you connecting with it? Because usually when people ask questions like this, they are not feeling connected to the love, to the love that's already there, but also to themselves. So usually when someone asks this type of question, it's indicative of, you can never be disconnected from yourself, your higher self. You can never be disconnected, but you can create the experience that you're disconnected, right? So I like to explain these things because it's like, it helps to create a greater context. So self-love, if you're looking for love, I would focus, and I would invite you to focus your energies on creating and cultivating that love within yourself first. Because a lot of us feel like, who ask the same kind of question, but it's not coming, it's not here. Because we're in the vibration, we're in the frequency of lack of that thing that we want. So what we have to do is activate it within ourselves, activate that frequency of love within ourselves if we want to attract that, right? Because it's all a part of being able to consciously create your reality, but not in this, kind of woo-woo, ungrounded sense, in literally a practical sense of like understanding how to create your reality in a conscious way. So I would start there. I would start there. Ooh, Kelly, do you see me singing in the future as a career? I feel like that is part of your soul blueprint, or part of what you came to share with people. However, the time that you chose to be born in, let's see. Okay, within the time you've chosen to be born in, that you're here in, the way that your spirit is coming in of like, and how it wants to express it, doesn't want to express it in maybe the way in the past someone had to go about creating a singing career, and it, and all, all the things. Your spirit comes across as wanting to do it in your own way, that is more, that allows you to feel more that you have authority in what you sing and in where you go, and also sovereignty is really big for you in this life, especially as it pertains to your soul expression. Because, a lot of us know that like singers, people who sign those contracts and or self-soul, they don't necessarily have that freedom. They're bound by all these contracts. So I feel you is coming in and wanting to create that for yourself, but that's going to be something that may be a bigger undertaking than you thought. However, it's going to feel so good to be in that alignment and have that authority and that sovereignty. So there's something about those key components coming in for you. This is something that you got to create for yourself because you're the creator. And if you're talking to me, it's usually going to be about some kind of empowering yourself to do it, stepping into your light and not hiding, things like that. But I hope that makes sense, Kelly. But that's what I hear and feel for you as I tune into your energy. Oh, who was that? Oh, Whispering Angels. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for the rose user 3961102661523. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the roses, all the gifts. And the likes. Thank you for liking the live. I really appreciate that. Oh, okay, Melissa, this is a good question. Melissa, should I pursue a medical malpractice claim with what just happened? I'm hearing to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened. And I don't know consciously, like I'm not getting that, but I'm hearing to say that. So sending you love. Let me just kind of drop in here. Who am I? Melissa. So the big thing here is you get to choose if you should do, if you want to do that or not. Interesting. Wait, one second. Let me just drop in one more layer deep. Okay, what is this? So when I connect to this, there's like, oh, is that what that is? I'm hearing, it's almost like a hand being put up, like a stop. So I translate that as no. It feels like this would be, I get a lot of long process that might not be worth the payout or the payoff. So, but here's another thing that I'm hearing to, and to just to offer to you is, you know how there's like lawyers and things that will do, what is it called? They'll do a thing, they'll just kind of check in and see if your case is worth pursuing, stuff like that. Not a contract. It's a C word. I'm pretty sure it's a C word. If somebody has that word, let me, you put in the comments, But I would go and see if someone can give you that type of like, they can kind of go over your case and see without, you know, having to purchase or, you know, sign on or sign with them in order to do the thing, to see if it's worth it. And it feels like from that, like checking into a couple of lawyers, I would even hear going as much as 3 different lawyers that can give you a consultation, like a free consultation that will, that is going to let you know whether it's worth pursuing or not. But I keep seeing this hand, like the emoji of like a stop, like stop. So it could be either stop, don't go there, or it could be stop and consider your options first. Because there's something about the juice possibly not being worth the squeeze. Does that make sense? So, Melissa, take that as it resonates. And then you get to like choose. You get to choose the things. And thank you for the follow, Melissa. I really appreciate that. I am behind on comments again. Virginia, you're asking if your mom will come to me, or well, not me, come to you, because she's passed. She's already coming to you. You're just not you're not allowing yourself to see the signs that she's there. It's like you have this thing of like, is this happening? Here's the thing. A lot of people ask for proof and then they get proof and then they second guess it and they question it. And then Spirit's like, really? Like they'll keep on doing it, but like, it's this thing of like, it feels like you do this thing of denial. You're denying the proof that's actually there. I'm hearing little noises. So I don't know if you hear little noises, but I'm hearing little noises. And then you like go and check and you're like, what the heck was that? That feels like, so I don't know if your mom was a little bit of a prankster or like to be silly and kind of joke in that way, but she comes through as doing that, kind of like playing with little noises, and not as a way to freak you out, but as a way to be like, it feels like that is one of her signals for you, like little noises. I don't know, little bells? I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, I'm hearing little bells, little noises, little sounds. So she's coming to you. You're just not, it feels like you're denying the fact that the proof that you get. And that's what a lot of people do. And that shuts down your intuition. That shuts down you being able to fully experience, or more fully experience, you know, your loved ones when they talk to you. It's because we deny we deny the proof that's coming to us, because we're like, oh, that's not proof, you know. Well, what more proof do you want? You know. But yeah, she's going around. Okay, so let me scroll through some of these comments. You're welcome. You're welcome, Melissa. I stick to, Melissa, I stick to what I said. I don't have anything else. I've already kind of closed that. I would check into the lawyers, the free consultations, and then it feels like from there, you'll know whether to do it or not. Yeah, thank you guys for the consultation. Consultation, yep, consult. Thank you guys for that. That's probably why I heard it. It's like, oh, right there. Funny how that works. Kelly, will I always be in my current career? There's too many shifts ahead for you for that to happen. But here's the better question, Kelly, is are you going to wait for the tsunami to come in, the proverbial like metaphorical tsunami, or are you going to actually follow your own alignment and go that way like freely? Or are you going to do it because it's like the default, because you didn't actually listen to the internal guidance that was encouraging you and inviting you to move into that space before all of these shifts? Does that make sense? So it's kind of like, that's the better question to ask yourself. Are you willing to go willingly and find and like be brave and courageous enough to find something else? Or are you going to wait? Because I don't see that lasting past a couple of years for whatever reason. And without going like super deep into all of the things and like having a conversation with you, I don't know the context of what that is, but I'm hearing like a couple of years. So that can be a lot of different things that kind of come into there. Taco, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the rose again. User 396-110-266-1523. Is it my dad in our home or something or someone else? So Renee, I would assume, oh, thank you for the heart me. I really appreciate that, Renee. And I'm reading you right now. How cool is that? I would assume that your father is passed. And this is why you're asking. So let me just tune in here, Renee. Okay, Dad's definitely there. One second. Dad is pointing to a portal. It feels like you have a portal either in your home or around your home. I don't know if someone was playing with like a Ouija board. That's the easiest way to open a portal unknowingly. You know, if you don't know what the hell you're doing or if you treat it like a game. I don't know why they have those things. So weird. I'm not going to go into my own rant about it, but I have a rant that I won't do. But it feels like Dad's there, but it does feel like there's like a portal. It feels like there's something else there that is... One moment. Let me just kind of... It doesn't feel like it's necessarily like a bad portal, but I will say, like, when portals are open or left open, a lot of different things can come through. It can be like really, really high vibe angels and stuff, but then it can be like, you know, you can get a mixed bag is what I'm trying to say here. So that's what I'm feeling. But yeah, dad's definitely there. It's like a little bit of a mixed bag. That's what I feel. You're welcome, Virginia. So 1 second. Oh, April, this is a great question. Should I take a course to become a certified life coach? How excited are you to do that, April? That's what I'm hearing to ask. And along with that, follow your excitement. Arnisa, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. Oh, Billy, this is a great question. So how would I know if my mom is trying to reach me from the other side? Well, a lot of ways. Sometimes it's just intuition. Sometimes it's a knowing, like, oh, they're there. I get that when my mom comes to visit me. I'm like, I know you're there. I can't fucking see you, but like, I know you're there. Like they're trying to test me or something. So, I mean, are you speaking in general terms, or do you mean specific to you? Can you clarify that for me? Just so that I can give you the right information. Otherwise, I can give you all of the different, otherwise it becomes a big mess. Okay, let's scroll through some of these comments because I've answered some of them. Oh, so oh, make a change. Okay, so yeah, Kelly, I get you. I've been a teacher for 11 years and it's super stressful. So I wondered if I will make a change. Here's the thing. A lot of, and I'll use myself as an example because I didn't really realize that. I didn't realize what I was doing until I had my spiritual awakening and I started going into like healing and more self-awareness and creating all of this internal awareness, right? Which is what I help people with now. So a lot of us feel like it's up to like life to, or somehow we're so disconnected from our own ability to choose for ourselves. Or perhaps we have resistance around choosing or, you know, understanding our, this is all connected to power as well. So sometimes we just don't realize our own innate power to choose and just go make a different choice because of all of the resistance and as well as all of the programming and conditioning we're all subjected to. And you know, so great and lovely. So it's really up to you. Are you going to make the change? It's also a combination, like it's not always cut and dry of like, is this thing gonna come in? Because sometimes we have these pre-designed, or you can call them predestined things that we have chosen to do in this life. And you get to choose through your free will how you move through that. So it's combining free will and like this kind of pre-designed or predestined, you know, combining those two elements into one. So really you get to choose, but there is a wave of energy that's coming in from 2025 to 2027 that, and I don't get like a time other than that time frame. I don't get any like specific or whatever of like when it's going to happen in 2025. So from that, there's this wave of energy of like it's coming in. I see it washing over you. However, you get to decide, you know, whether you do the things or not. Whether are you going to make a choice? Are you going to make a change? That's a choice. So really the deeper focus here is understanding that you have power to change your life. Does that make sense? Renee, thank you for the heart me. I didn't see that thing come on, but like, fuck yeah. Thank you for that. And I wish it would tell me who sent the gifts. Arnisa, thank you for the heart me. Renee, oh my gosh. It's funny. Okay, let me scroll through some of these because I've answered some of those. Renee, thank you. I may need to talk to you at a later time. Yeah, absolutely. You know, you can always book with me. You can do that through the link in my bio as well. It'll take you to my calendar where you can book and you can see all of the different one-on-one type sessions I offer. Or, you know, just come back on another live and do the thing. Arnisa, thank you for the gummy bear. Oh, gummy bears. Oh, it's a high bear. It looks like a gummy bear to me. It looks delicious. Oh, interesting. But here's the thing. It's funny that you have this name, Plant Yourself in Hope, and then you have the belief, like, not sure if I would be successful. Very interesting. Very interesting polarization and conflict. That's actually a beautiful illustration of the conflicts that we hold internally, we might not even realize it. But here's the thing. Success is not personal, it's structural. This is what I'm going to be teaching in my upcoming live course to help people integrate their shadow and just go live the life, create the life you want to freaking live. While releasing and recoding the resistance, the instructions that you have created or have inherited, you know, in your 0 to 7, you know, all of those instructions are outdated. Holy cow. Virginia, I had a similar question like that. Were you the one that asked me that? Because I've had someone ask me that too, but it was last week, and I'm not sure if it was you. So just wondering if that is you, my dear. Ooh, interesting. So will I be able, manifesting and mountains, I like that. Will I be able to stay in my current company after the transition? So one second. I got some energies coming in. I'm just going to, since you didn't leave your name, I'm going to use your picture. Okay, there you are. Let me fast forward. Interesting. I am wondering if you're like if it would come up, or like if the powers that be in that company, like whatever transition there is, it feels like there is a questioning of your value. So I don't know if they're going to be questioning, like, what do you bring to this company, like to all of the employees? But I'm getting something about like questioning people's value, like what they bring to the company, their worth, etc. Like what they're worth to the company, like what they bring. I keep hearing value and worth. So I'm hearing that. And that feels like it brings up a lot for you. But to be honest, I don't feel you being in that company after this transition, because it feels like it just brings up so much. I don't feel, the way I'm hearing it and sensing it, it doesn't feel like you're actually. Here's the thing, it keeps, there's some timelines where yes, you are. There's some timelines where it's like, no, you're not. So it hasn't fully been decided, obviously. Things are in flux until they come to pass. So this feels like one of these things that's still in flux. You get to decide, but there is something about worth and value, and then that's going to connect to like how you feel, you know, either worthy or valuable internally. Do you feel worth it? Do you feel these deeper existential questions, so to speak? But it does feel like there might be questioning of people's value and worth. And I don't know if that sits with you too well. I'd have to have a conversation with you to understand and to know, you know, how you feel about that. But that's what I get. I don't see you being in the company after the transition, but again, it hasn't come to pass. It's still in flux. So I see that as you have to choose. But it's also connected to your worth and, you know, how you feel worthy, how you, or maybe don't, and what value you bring or lack thereof. And I'm talking about internally, you know, in your internal world, because it seems to be shining a big old flashlight on, you know, I'm not worthy, that kind of core wound. So that's what I feel for you. That's what I feel for you, my dear. Hope that makes sense. I know you didn't leave me your name, but mountains, manifesting mountains. That's what I hear for you. Shannon, thank you for the rose. Thank you for the follow. Let me scroll through some of these comments because I'm a little behind. Oh, I get that. I get that, Billy. I've been so lost since her passing. So, you know, yeah, when people pass, there's so much. You know, I think of it as I have a different relationship to death than most people, and a different perspective on death than most people. I find it very transformative, and obviously I'm a human. I experienced the loss. I still mourn my mom, you know, like I still mourn my brother. I still cry, you know, so I'm not human. But that's part of it. Part of it for you, Billy, is you allowing yourself to feel the things. This is part of the opportunity that your mother's passing is giving you, is being able to feel your feelings, sit with your feelings and feel them rather than bypassing or trying to numb them out or trying to avoid them. So she's giving you a tremendously beautiful gift here. And so amidst the feeling loss and amidst the grief, there's also, you know, like unsurmountable beauty in the gift that's left for us, if only we allow ourselves to be open to receiving that and perceiving the gifts that are there. So, you know, sending you all of the love, and this is giving you a beautiful opportunity, my dear. So you get to choose whether to take that. But yeah. Oh, I got you. Yeah, I wanted to be a therapist, but I would have to pay tuition. Yeah, it's really, you know, for you, plant yourself in hope. It really is about like I'm hearing excitement. So, are you excited enough to do the things? Are you excited enough to invest? Because really, you're not just investing in a program. You showing up, you're investing in yourself. So you got to decide, is that worth it? A lot of people, you know, especially in like the spiritual community, like people don't want to charge, or there's also this other perception from the other side of it of like, why are you charging? Or you charge too much? Or it's like, yeah, but it's information. it's information. You know, is that worth it to you? Is it worth investing? And what's the excitement behind it? If it's like meh, like, yeah, I could do that. Or is it like, oh my God, I really want to fucking do this. Does that make sense? The feeling is going to tell you where to focus your energy. Get your mind out of, am I going to be successful? No. Because a lot of times we're presented with these choices in order to move through them unconditionally without attachment. And you have an attachment here of, yeah, but I want to be successful. Yeah, but like, what else? That would then prompt me to say, well, what else in your life are you not going for because you have a condition attached? I need to be successful. I need to be whatever it is. Yeah. So there's just, there feels like there's an attachment there to, I need this condition to happen in order to do this. And what we're here to do is to learn how to live without being conditional, because usually we've been raised and also inherited a lot of these conditions. Yeah, I need to have this in order to do this. I need to have money and get paid lots of money in order to show up and do the things I love to do. So where is the attachment? There's an attachment there that it feels like it's not serving you, because it feels like you want to go towards this thing, but another part of you is not letting you, because if I'm not successful, then it's not worth it. Yeah, but what if you are? And what if you're using this as an excuse to distract yourself from actually just going for what you want? I'm gonna leave that there. Mic drop. Okay, let me Artie, hi. Let me see if there's anything that comes in around this. You're asking if you will ever get mentally stable. So let me just kind of tune in here gently and see if anything comes through. Here's the thing. It feels like, and here's, I'm not a doctor or anything. I don't claim to be one. I'm not trying to give out, medical advice or anything like that. So take everything with a grain of salt. You get to decide ultimately. Do your research, all the things. So part of it, let's see, and I don't know a lot of like the medical stuff, so sometimes I just lack the, that lexicon of all of the, things and medical terms or whatever. But the way it feels like, I wonder, this is what's coming up in my field. So I'm just going to pose it to you. I'm going to offer it to you, and you get to choose what you want to do with it. Yeah. So what I'm feeling is it feels like diet can really help tremendously. Because if you're eating a lot of processed foods, it's gonna mess up the body. There's so much that happens with processed food inside the body, and creating toxins and heavy metals and all these things. So it feels like diet could help a lot. And I almost I would ask you, do you exercise like regularly? Because it feels like switching the diet would help, and it also feels like exercise, because exercise helps to regulate our hormones. It helps to regulate our mental and emotionals, our mentals and emotionals. It helps to regulate those. And then here's the thing. Another thing is, speaking of, mental and emotional balance, it feels like, one second. Okay. So the way, when I tune into your energy, like your mental energy feels very, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a halo of static. So there's a lot of stuff going on mentally, yeah? But like when I tune into your heart and emotionally, it doesn't feel like that's very open. So I would almost wonder too if becoming more, I guess, emotionally intelligent, like kind of working on self-awareness and feeling your emotions, feeling what's coming up, being present with those things as a practice, like as an ongoing practice, would help to regulate and balance that mental energy. Because there's something about the mental energy that isn't quite grounding. It feels like it stays stuck in all of these loops in the head, and it's not fully grounding. And it's not connecting the way it would need to emotionally. It feels like it feels kind of like they're separate. And so I wonder if those three pieces, if like you get to choose, you know, take it with a grain of salt, but that's what I get for, you know, that's what I get for you. But you get to choose, right? So I hope that makes sense. Let me know how that resonates. And feel free, if you do incorporate those things, I would be really interested to, you know, if you came back and said, this is how it helped, or maybe even how it didn't help. But that's what I feel. You know, I'm not a medical professional though, or anything. Definitely not a medical professional. Oh, so Renee, yes, I am currently working on it. They're going to be entire year-long courses. This isn't something for the occasional, like, oh, I'm going to do the thing. It's going to be an entire, I'm creating 2 academies currently. One for intuition development and energy work, like basic, helping you refine, as well as discernment, you know. The other one is going to be for shadow integration and conscious education. So there's 2, and those 2 academies actually combine. You know, if you're taking them both, they're going to be very, very, very transformative, very profound. But yeah, there are going to be places to, you know, I'm going to have a whole page where you can read all about it, see if it's something for you, and then sign up, because it's a whole thing. It's like it's me going like full on legit, let's go for the gusto type of thing. But I will have, you know, as I go and as I can create it, I will have like little, maybe shorter, free, like webinars or things that you can tune into and stuff like that, that kind of give you the basis. And then also give you the opportunity to opt in if you want to do something deeper. If you're like, oh, this is for me, I want to do this. You know, it's just, it's a work in progress, but it will be here in the new year. So let me scroll through some of these comments, because I am behind. And also, as I scroll through the comments, if you are here and you would like a free reading, you just comment with your name and a question. It can be open. It can be an open-ended question. You can be open for spirit, career, love, health, spiritual journey, psychic gifts, abilities, etc. Whatever you might have a question about, you can just leave that in the comments with your name, just so that I know who I'm talking to, because that's always nice. I don't do pregnancy or fertility. The free readings are going to be short, or you can even ask for a 1-card pool, which is a little pew, 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 pew. So yeah. So as I scroll through those comments, go ahead and keep putting your comments. Yeah, I get that, Renee. I haven't found what I really want to do and the path to take. So what I found with, you know, just generally speaking, this is great that you said that. Thank you for sharing out the live, by the way. I'm glad that you said that, because that allows me to like take a little bit of time and clarify this. So, you know, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching on the replay, which is on my YouTube channel, if you didn't know, you can watch the replays there. A lot of people that, because I felt this way, like I really, like, I don't know what I know I'm meant to do something big, but what's my freaking purpose? I don't know which path. You know, like always feeling disconnected. I find when people are feeling that way, a lot of times they are receiving the information or the inspiration, they're receiving the insights, they're receiving the hits, but they're not going for it. They're not taking action. And a lot of times what that is indicative of is the patterns and the unconscious conditioning, you know, of, oh, I'm too afraid to do that. I'm not safe going out there and sharing my light and shining my light and being my purpose. We might have wounds from past lives, which are really just parallel life streams, because everything's happening now and everything's simultaneous. But it can be from this life. It can be from your ancestry, right? You inherited it. It could be something you created. because someone said, oh, you can't do that. You know, you have to find a realistic way to make money. So we code up all of these instructions, and they are streamlined, automated, and put into the unconscious. So as we are moving throughout life, we have a conscious desire to create the best life we can for ourselves. However, we have unconscious conditioning that's like, no, don't fucking do that because that hurts. We want to avoid that at all costs. It's unsafe, or whatever the coding or the associations are. And so a lot of times when we don't take the action, we're receiving the hits, and maybe we're denying it. Well, we go into doubts and uncertainty. We start doubting ourselves. We don't believe in ourselves. Yeah. So there's a lot of different things where we're not allowing ourselves to be in the flow because of all of this unconscious conditioning. This is why I'm creating this course, because it's so important. It's so important to me for people to have the same type of profound experience of the awareness of like what the F is actually going on in your unconscious, and realizing all of the patterns of like, oh, that's why I keep sabotaging my best efforts to go and live a life I love, or to be in my purpose. It's really deep. It's really deep. Yeah. And that's why I love this. I love this work. Yeah, I'm definitely doing paid readings, or I'm doing free readings now, but I am offering paid readings as well as paid services. And that was for Miss Pink, for your question, my dear. So if you want a free reading, you just go ahead and comment with your name and a question. Okay? They're going to be shorter, or you can ask for a 1-card pool, right? So just kind of asking whatever is on your mind. As far as paid services and paid readings, I do have these as offerings, right? In-depth reading, right? For someone who wants a little bit more context and guidance. Oh, excuse me. There's quantum healing, mediumship, and multidimensional mediumship, light language activations, and healing readings. So those are my paid services. And if you do want a paid service, or you're interested in a paid service, or you're like, what the heck is a multidimensional mediumship? Just ask. And as far as my paid services, all the links to donate are in my profile. Okay, so you just go there, click the link. There's the Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, all the ways to pay and to donate. And then you come back here and you let me know in the comments you donated, so that you can receive your reading. Thank you for the roses. User 396110. I can't remember the rest of the... Ariana, sure. Are you just open you said may I have guidance. Are you just open, or are you looking for Oh, interesting. Oh, Tosh, I really like that. Oh, so Pink, Miss Pink, aka Tosh. Thank you for the question. Will I figure out my purpose business-wise soon? One moment. Let me just drop in here. See what comes up. I'm hearing I'm going to pull a card for you. Ooh, interesting. That's a lot. Can we have one? Here's the thing. Oh, very interesting. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay, interesting. All right. So you got 4 cards, but I'm just going to give you the top one because it's a short reading. You know, for an in-depth reading, I would just take all the cards. But here's the one that fell out and on top. It feels like holding back is what gets my attention here. And then we have tuning into your intuition as well, right here. One moment. Let me just drop in. So there's an aspect of you holding yourself back from knowing your purpose because it's unsafe. This is in your unconscious. So it's not conscious, it's unconscious. It's things that are there and operating that you don't realize that are operating. But on some level, you're having the experience, or you're having like the feedback loop, or the experience of the consequence of having this part be like, I don't want to look at it. It's too big. I can't do it. It feels like it's connected to the inner child, which would take me back to self-love, and then taking care of yourself, right? Self-love, that's part of, for whatever reason, I mean, I feel like it's connected to the inner child anyway, but for this reading, for you, Tosh, I do feel it very connected, that self-love element, being very connected to your inner child, and needing that love, needing that encouragement. So I am hearing encourage, like for a practical tool. Give your inner child some encouragement of like, yes, you can. And yes, it is okay. Yes, it is safe. Letting them feel nurtured and safe and secure in knowing, or in having that big feeling of having a big purpose or a big sense of purpose, and letting that feel safe. Because there's a part of you, the inner child is one part. The other part is the protector controller that can be hyper vigilant sometimes. Of it is not safe. We're not going in there. And it feels like it's also connected in your lineage. There was somewhere along the way in your lineage where it wasn't safe to actually be in your purpose, your magic, I'm hearing magic is coming up. So you may have a witch wound as well, or like a persecution wound, being persecuted for being in your light, in your magic. So it feels like there's some things that are connected to your purpose that are creating static or resistance to, really getting clear on your purpose. So I would sit with your inner child and start to have a conversation, not just telling her, not just like spewing stuff at her, like affirmations, but like literally sitting down with your inner child and having a conversation like, hey, let's talk. I want to listen to you. What are you feeling? What do you think? What do you believe? And see what comes up, because there's some deeper things that want to come to light for you. But that's what I tap into when I get your question. It's like the inner child needs some encouragement, because she didn't get encouragement. It feels like she was like, no, like she was not encouraged. Whatever the opposite of encouragement is. It feels like, no, you need to be realistic. Let's dismiss it. Let's reject that and disown that. So now that you want to come back into your purpose, like a aligned purpose, there is this resistance that's causing, the inability to get clarity. If that makes sense. So that's what I hear for you, Tosh. Oh my gosh, people have literally said that to me. That's not, I feel like most of us have been taught or have been told that at one point or another. And so the child, as we are told this repeatedly, as a child, we may feel you know, I know for me as a child, I was like, you're that's bullshit. But then what happens is because we're steeped in that vibration or that frequency, we start to internalize it. And sometimes it comes as we inherited it. So it comes, we create these things in a lot of ways. But yeah, there's a lot of things. Corinne, you're asking for a card. Faux show. Let's do a card for Corinne. See if there's anything that wants to come out of this deck. Otherwise, I'll just pull one more. Whoa, that's a lot. Okay, this is the one that wants to ground. So for you, wow, it's interesting. I didn't even look at the other cards. What was that one? Interesting. Okay, so the card that fell on the floor is stop, go within, consider all your options, and then, you know, this is not a time to be hasty in your decision making, right? So pay attention to the red flags is what I'm hearing. And if you pay attention to the red flags, if you pay attention to the red flags, you will know clearly what decision to make. That's what I'm hearing. So I'll leave it there. That's for you, Corinne, if you're still here. Yeah, Ariana, I asked you, you said may I have guidance, but like, do you have a certain, are you open? Or do you want to explore a certain, you know, area of life, love, career, etc.? Oh, thank you, Tosh, for all of the lovely roses. I love roses. I have lots of hangups and hurts. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I knew the chorus. Yeah, Renee, so if anybody is interested in the courses that I was talking about, please feel free to message me here on TikTok and let me know, hey, I'm interested in that. So that way, when I do drop these courses and the ability to sign up for them, I can just reach back out to you and let you know, hey, here's the link. Go, you know, you can go see if this is something that aligns with you right now. So if you want to do that, just message me on TikTok and let me know, okay? Same for you, Renee, because I've encountered a lot of that. And I'm looking for the people that are in alignment with the offer. Let's see, hold on. Who was that? Marion, if you want to give me a little bit more context, if you want to give me a little bit more context, that'll help me to connect a little bit more clearly. Excuse me. Oh yeah. So Buka, hi, how are you? Lovely to see you again, my dear. So it just feels like you're drawing boundaries. So who cares? Really, what's more important, or what I want to bring your focus to, is you having boundaries and knowing, well, let's see, there's also this thing of like understanding that boundaries are our way to, you know, both love and respect, you know, all parties involved, especially yourself. So if you're saying no, sounds like you're saying yes to yourself. It feels like you're saying yes to yourself. And it does feel like that came with a bit of resistance, or a bit of like, wait, what? But again, it really, that is, you know, being concerned about what someone else's response is, doesn't always serve us. It's more serving the ego, and what the ego, the ego wants to know. all of the things. So that's what I'm feeling come through with you. And I'm hearing to leave it there, so I'll leave that there. But always lovely to see you again. Thank you for being here tonight. Oh, okay. So Ariana, you said open. I'm actually hearing pink. Okay. I'm hearing to pull a card for you. So this card is gonna be for you, Ariana. Oh, there it is. It's also gonna be, if I'm reading for someone else and it resonates for you, take it. How does it apply to your life? Spirit works through all of us. So it's really just about understanding and understanding, really. Having the eyes to hear. The eyes to hear? Yeah, well, the eyes to hear and the the ears to see. Yes, I did mean to say that after I said it. So, yeah, if that makes sense. So your card is take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. So this feels like it's when it as it says get off the treadmill, I'm seeing a hamster wheel just going. So it feels like you might be a person that likes to go. Not even that you like to go, but like that's kind of how you operate, and like kind of one of the only ways you know how to operate is go. It feels like it's a little bit more of a challenge for you to like take a break, sit still, take a breath, take things in, reorient yourself. So it feels like that is the guidance. It's time to take a break. And here it says a life's work, right? It's a whole life. You have your whole life to do the things. You don't have to, because it feels like you kind of try to do everything and try to get it done. And then the next thing comes, I got to do it to get it done. But then like, it's a never ending process. So you're never giving yourself a break. And so it feels like you're also prone to burnout. And that could also lead to like illnesses that come in that are unexpected illnesses of like, well, why is this happening? Well, because you didn't give yourself a break when your body and the signs around you were telling you, hey, take a fucking break. So that's what I feel for you, Ariana. Let me know how that resonates. And thank you for allowing me to pull a card for you. Arnisa, this is, I mean, I already read for you, but I will say what I'm hearing with your question is it's important to protect your peace. And if your mental health is a part of your peace, then you already know what you need to do. It doesn't have to be so black and white. There's gray areas, but it doesn't, but self-love is the highest form of love, and that we're always, we get told these things of like, don't be so selfish, and blah, blah. It's like, but some of us need to be selfish. We actually need that medicine because we've been taught to be people pleasers. And so sometimes being selfish is actually what's going to help you, or being selfish, right? Is something that's going to help you, is like the medicine you need to help you balance out your life and like actually align within. Let's see. So, oh yeah, and thank you, Arnisa, for sending the little, what are those little TikTok thingies? I like that. That's cool. Thank you for the gifts. I really appreciate that. Okay, so Jess, or Jessica, you said, is my dad with me? And is he okay? Short answer, yes and yes. He's helping you from the other side the best he can. He's kind of making a remark about how you he's kind of making a remark to the effect that you don't always catch what he's putting down or the signs he's leaving you. But he's there. He's there for you, to help you, and almost as an honorary guide. So yes and yes, and a little bit extra. Okay, so let me scroll through some of these. Let me scroll through some of these comments. So Tosh, you said, this makes so much sense. I wish I knew how to heal my inner child wounds. So that's part of why I'm creating the courses that I'm creating, because there are so many people out there that still don't understand or even know where to start when it comes to like shadow integration. You know, you can work specifically with inner child wounds, but I like to work, with shadow, like integrating the shadow as a whole, because then that includes, all of the different parts of you, whether it's the protector controller, the inner child, the inner critic, all of the different parts. But I will have an offering for that coming out soon for the new year. I was going to do it around this time, but I was like, no, let's wait till afterwards. So I have something, or I will have something that's going to, but there's so many people out there. It's really depending on who do you resonate with, where is the excitement for you? What do you, who do you feel called to work with? And that's all your own discernment. So yes, I have those offers, but like not everybody is in alignment with that. So just want to clear that up. Oh, thank you for all the roses. Oh, dope. Thank you. Thank you for all the gifts, all the roses, all of the things, and the finger hearts, and the things, and the donuts, and all of it. Let me scroll through some of these comments, because I've gotten some of them. And again, if you have questions, or if you'd like a free reading, just comment with your name and a question. Yeah. Oh yeah, Crystal. So this is a great question. How do I escape these cycles I seem to recreate no matter the route I take? Because you're in the problem-solving structure. And this is through no fault of your own. It's literally how our society is oriented the world over. So for example, we have the war on drugs, the war on crime, the war on terrorism, the war on this, the war on that. That's a problem-solving structure. So we're always fighting the problem, trying to come up with a solution, when there's actually a way simpler, way easier way, which is also going to be part of one of my courses. So really what you want to do is it's so much simpler. Is you get into a creative structure. What do you want to create in your life? You want to create health and vitality? You want to be in your true nature and purpose? Do you want to, really be and embody, being that creator of your reality, the predominant, right? You're not the only creator of your reality, but you're the predominant creator of reality. Also, be in your true nature and purpose. Living a life you love. I said true nature and purpose, but living a life you love, right? What do you want to create? And then, so how I do it is we set it up of what do you want to create? How is it now? And these points, these 2 points create structural tension. We need structural tension because It's everything, really. Everything is held together in the universe by tension. And so we create structural tension, and then we just simply release the resistance in the way of you simply going out there and creating the thing, which might be these loops and these cycles and these beliefs and all of the wounds and things you keep recreating from. So you can just go do that, and it's much simpler. So much simpler. I discovered it this year, and it's I decided to become a like a coach in it and like go all in, because since 2017 is when I started healing and doing the things. And no matter what you do, no matter what you heal, especially if you're oriented in what's the next thing that's wrong with me? What's the next thing I need to fix? You're in that problem solving orientation. That's why you keep creating in that. That's why you keep recreating all of the stuff, because that was your orientation. So now I'm going to start teaching people how to be in a creative structure, how to create that structural tension, and then we're just going to do a whole year of transformation, like, you know, shadow integration, that type of inner transformation with all these change processes to release that resistance, so you can just go and create, and you don't have to worry about all of this shit you're recreating. Does that make sense? It's literally revolutionary, and I'm so excited to teach it, and it's why it's why I'm doing these lives, to kind of find the people that are ready for that, to make those really profound shifts. But really, you know, the short answer there is because you're in a problem-solving orientation, which, you know, is a field day for your unconscious, because your unconscious automates all the processes. And so it tells your unconscious, find the next problem, keep finding and thus recreating these cycles, these problems, so that I have something to fix. Yeah, so it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. When you start to understand it, it's kind of insane because we've kind of been in a little bit of an insanity, you know, doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results in that sense. So all of the things. So, I don't remember your name, so forgive me, but you're Maka. You're talking about, you know, Richard and Freddie and that. So that's you, okay? It really. So here's the thing. Let me kind of drop in 1 second. 1 second. Let me just drop in. More of what is important here is your orientation and your focus. So here's the thing, and we're going to illuminate some things. So you might feel a little called out. But I'm going to be blunt here. So it kind of feels like you like this. It feels like, oh, I like this attention, because it feels good to receive this, like, kind of almost overabundance of, it kind of feels like love to me. Like, I feel like love. I feel so acknowledged. I feel wanted and desired. So there's a part of you that's kind of, pardon the phrase, but kind of getting off on it. Not necessarily literally, but in that sense, it really likes it, because it's like, but it feels like it's kind of more connected to more of a wound, because there's a part of you that feels unworthy of having, you know, of being loved or being, you know, worthy of love. So having two men in competition for you feels really good, because it feels really validating, and it feels really like, feel seen, I feel loved. So this in your, why I say it's about you is because this is creating a bit of a disillusionment and a bit of like, in a way that's, and fantasy in a way that's not, that doesn't feel aligned with your soul. So, and I'm not talking about like a menage or anything like that, because that's different. Like, that's you, do you, boo. But it feels like this competition of like having people fight over you feels like, oh, I feel loved and stuff. So it feels like there's also this disillusionment around what it really, one second, let me find the translation. What it feels like when someone genuinely loves you and, you know, wants to connect and you do them, versus, you know, kind of this situation where there is multiple parties and it's triggering or activating this part of you that wants, that's kind of desperate for love and desperate for that attention and affection, that's like, oh, getting it. And there's that distortion from that part, because it's like, ha 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 ha. That again, it's no judgment towards you. It's just this awareness of, this is what I tap into. Tap into the end of the inner parts and the inner world of people. So it kind of creates this disillusionment of, you know, what is actually the genuine connection and relationship you want, versus, whoo, I really like the way this feels. Does he want to do, is he going to play the game? So it kind of activates this part within you that's like, oh, I like this attention. Let's see if we can, which feels like an unintegrated part of your shadow that really wants the attention. And in a more, let me see if I can find the word, in a more, not fully malicious, but not also not like in a, from a pure sense of like connection and love and like this alignment of, this is what I want. And that's the other aspect, or that's the other area, is like, what do you actually want from a relationship, and who is compatible with that? Rather than asking, are these guys going to play the game? Because that's high school bullshit. And if you're going to play that game, that's a choice. You know, no judgment for me, but that's a choice. But you are going to, if you start playing that game, you're going to see the consequences of that game. Okay? That's what I'm feeling. I'm going to leave that shit there. You're welcome, Ariana. I'm glad that resonated for you. Good night, Sue. Yeah. Creative structure. Yep. Yeah, Renee's in on it. Thank you for absorbed sunlight. I like that. I don't know what your name is, but your screen name is lovely. I love that. Thank you for all those roses. Is it Lanaya? Ooh, that's pretty. Lanaya. Yeah, absolutely. Ask away, my dear. Absorbed sunlight says, I've been visualizing aspects of my life as these separate strings I try to move to my will. Ooh, very interesting. How's that going for you? Is that like, what do you like? That's intriguing. What are you doing there? You're welcome. I'm more triggered than excited, honestly. Yeah, I got you. I get it. Yeah. No, I get that. It's 10:44 here. And I get that, being more triggered. And so, you know, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. but I always bring in whatever kind of comes. So just, you know, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Take it with a grain of salt. You get to decide for yourself. But here's the thing. I will say that we can feel consciously triggered AF and then like unconsciously, because this is the stuff that goes on, you know, unless we create awareness in our unconscious and we shine a light down there or up there, wherever, shine a light into the unconscious and do that work, we can be unaware of the different parts of us that are, you know, that do like that thing, or that do, because it does feel like a shadow aspect. So I would say it's unintegrated shadow, which is unconscious. So I don't think it feels like there's a part of you that, or not a part of you, that your main personality, the person that you are, is not quite aware of it. That you experience the feedback and the consequences of that part acting out and doing the thing. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. But yeah, that's why it's unconscious, because usually we don't know unless we create awareness there. Oh, my dear. So here's the thing, Lanaya, this is beautiful, and thank you for being so open. You know, that's lovely. I love that. That's very refreshing. Thank you for being open and sharing that. So Lanaya says, my husband wants me to move to New York, but he's a pathological liar, so I don't know if I can trust him. Here's the thing. If someone's a liar and they've already broken your trust once, or a liar, right? If somebody is consistently showing up in their actions and showing you that they cannot be trusted, trust them. And by that I mean trust that you cannot trust them. Does that make sense? Did that hit? Did that land? But that's what I'm you know, trust his actions. So if he's been showing you that he's a pathological liar, trust that he's going to be a liar until he shows up in his actions consistently over time otherwise. Yeah? There would be no way in freaking hell that if I didn't trust someone, I would be moving and relocating. But the great thing about that is that it does get to be your choice and you get to decide. But it's very simple what comes through for you. So that's what I feel. So yeah. Chicky, good evening. Good evening. So is there anybody else? Yeah, let's do last call. So let's do last call. Yeah. Last call for free readings, paid services. So if you haven't had a free reading and you would like a free reading, just comment with your name and a question. Yeah. Whatever you feel inspired to ask, my dear friends. I don't do pregnancy or fertility. The free readings are going to be short. However, usually people get a lot out of them, which usually people just need a little bit of validation, and that's what readings are. So go ahead and fill those comments up. Let's do last call. And just so you know, just so you guys know, I will be here tomorrow as well as Friday. So I'm here every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 8 Mountain Time till kind of about 2 hours-ish, depending on, depending on how things go. So just so you know, if you haven't gotten a reading tonight and you don't, there's other times I will be here. So as far as paid services, I'm going to do a last call for those as well. In-depth reading, quantum healing. I'm just going to leave that on the screen for a little bit. Mediumship, multidimensional mediumship, light language activation, healing readings. If paid services are something you're interested in, you just go to my profile. All the links to donate and pay are there. So you just pay the respective amount. And then you come back here, you let me know in the comments you donated. And then we do your reading. And then I ask you, you know, we do things. So, okay. So let's hit up these last few readings, whether they're paid, free, whatever. We're here to hang out and we're here to do the things. 1 second. Let's see. Is this? Oh, that feels great. Let me twist the spine. That feels good. Will my business succeed, or is there anything more I can add to it, Danielle? So let me tune in, Danielle, to see. 1 second. Let me just drop in here, Danielle. Danielle. Okay, so business. So is this your own business, like entrepreneurial? I can't say it. Entrepreneurial? Is it like your own business? And you said, will my business? Oh, okay, duh. And so never mind that. I'm going to assume that. So if it's something different, let me know. I'm hearing marketing, girl, for you. It needs to be more honed in. Like, and then, so as far as like your avatar, who you're marketing to, or like your ideal customer, I'm hearing that. So I don't know if it's something of like figuring out all of that, of like who you're marketing for, who's your ideal client, what are their pain points, what are you helping them with, all of those things when we start to go into marketing and stuff. But if you have, it feels like a refinement. So take that whichever way it resonates. It's coming in that way of like, the marketing needs to be finessed is the word that I'm hearing. So finessing the marketing and refining that a bit feels like it would actually, I hear, breathe a new life into your business and get you, yeah. There's some other things from you that are like kind of attached to it, but it feels like, you know, the marketing will help for sure. And if you do that, let me know. Let me know how it resonates first. And then if you do apply that, feel free to come back and let me know, because I love to hear from people who have had readings from me and they're like, oh my gosh, I did the things. And then like, you know, I love to hear that stuff. It's great. Oh, interesting. Okay, so so Lanaya, that's what you were thinking. Okay, so you are, okay. We there. It's usually a validation, so we there. You fell asleep, Britt? Okay. No worries. I'm about to shove off here in a little bit, but I'm seeing, who was it? Wait, where was it? Oh, Hira, stick around. 1 second. So Jacqueline, so Jacqueline is asking, any advice from my guides to get through the roadblocks preventing me from stepping into my purpose? See any guys? Okay, 1 second. All right, great question. I'm just connecting, so there's this like, sometimes I forget to say words. Okay, so Jacqueline, you're talking about, and as far as purpose, okay, so purpose. Okay, part of it, a big part of it is, again, what I was talking about before. I don't know if you were here on the live. Sorry, I'm kind of losing my voice here. I don't know if you were here on the live when I was talking about problem solving orientation versus creative and that structure. So part of it is the structure. A big part of it is your structure, because I feel you going into, what do I need to fix? What do I need to refine? It's kind of like this kind of, what do I need to fix type of energy. And that just orients you in the problem solving structure. So you're always going to need to solve a problem before you can just do the thing. But in the creative structure, you just go do the thing and then you release the resistance, and you don't have to worry about focusing on all this bullshit over here. So that's a big part of it, is your orientation is creating all of the things that you need to fix and all of the things you need to do before you can have the thing that you want. Let's see. And then stepping on purpose. That's the main thing. It's okay. So what is it? Pirates. Okay. So Pirates of the Caribbean, when Jack Sparrow, he's like, the problem isn't the problem. The problem isn't the problem. The problem is, I don't know how he words it, but like your perception of the problem. That is what's actually the roadblock, is how you're perceiving, your perception of a lot of most things, your perception of, how you view the problem, how you're thinking, because you're oriented in, this is a problem, I got to get past this so I can just go be in my purpose. Why don't you just be in your purpose and release the resistance to the thing? So okay, so this is what I help people with, but and this is what I'm going to be helping people with. So it's really just the fact that you are viewing things as a problem that need a solution, rather than simply creating because you want to create. So underneath that, 1 second, there's like, I'm just gonna drop in a little bit more. Part of it is worthiness. Part of it is like, I'm not worthy. One of the sabotaging identities that we will be learning in my course is I'm not worthy, and the other one is I'm not enough. And then there's a third one that pops in of I'm not capable. So those three wounds are kind of doing the thing of like, doing the things. It's creating a pattern. It's creates a lot of cycles in your, it creates a lot of cycles of self-sabotage. And then distraction. So self-sabotage and distraction are some of the big things. There's many other things that's like connected to, which is in the quantum field. That's a lot to bring up, and I'm not, for a shorter reading. But those are the main things that pop out to me in this moment. Okay. So it makes 100% sense. Having a hard time finding that right target. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, if you haven't, Danielle, knowing who, and it's really how I've learned it is it's your avatar. That one person, what are their biggest pain points? What are they wanting to, so when we buy something or we invest in something, people either they're either moving towards pleasure or away from, away from pain. So we're either moving towards pleasure or away from pain. So understanding that within your your customer and your client base, and having that one avatar that you would be marketing to, understanding them inside and out, their the inner thought processes, their stories, their different things, understanding that and getting really clear on that is going to help you immensely, I feel like. Jacqueline says, thanks so much. Completely resonates. You're welcome, my dear. Oh, wow. That's crazy, Lanaya. My husband told me he's happy now, but he got us evicted and didn't tell me. He left me that. Wow. And that's crazy. I if it were me, I definitely wouldn't trust any kind of sense of that. I'd be like, no, I deserve someone who is honest and open and trustworthy, and that is what I deserve, and I will not settle for anything less. I would be like, miss me with that shit. Bye-bye. Okay, Hira. So, okay, thank you for reminding me. So, Hira, what wounds is the connection with Z bringing up for me and helping you with? So, one second, let me just kind of drop in here, Hira, and then that connection. That's a big worthiness thing. That is like worthiness. Also worthiness in relationships, and as it pertains to relationships, and not just like romantic relationships, but also understanding that you're in relationship to everything. So I'm in relationship to you. I'm in a relationship in my phone, in my house. I have a relationship. I'm in relation to these things. So there's many countless layers of relations, being in relation to someone or to something. But the big things that pop out to me is feeling unworthy in relationships. Especially, I would say especially romantic ones where you may feel more vulnerable or perceived as weak if you let yourself be fully seen, be fully yourself. So he may have showed up as not accepting you as fully, or not accepting you as you just being you. There might have been parts of you that he was like, oh, I don't like that about you, or why do you have to do that, or kind of nitpicking about you, but you're like, but this is me, and I feel attacked and defensive that this person doesn't like. I feel, I can't be the way that I'm unlovable as I am. That's what I feel, is I'm unlovable as I am, and then that triggers the worthiness wound. I'm unworthy. I'm unworthy to have a full, or I'm unworthy to be loved as I am. Yeah, and then that goes into like being vulnerable and being perceived as weak or less than by a partner, because that plays into your relationship with your father and the dynamics you created in that relationship, or lack thereof. So that's what comes up for you, Hira. Yeah. You're just gonna have to ask him. That's how you know. See, here's the thing, is people want to know without taking a risk, but it's not my job to try to that would be me stealing or trying to control your it's kind of like me stealing that experience for you. You need that experience to put yourself out there. Because you have a thing of like, I don't want to be vulnerable. I don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to be rejected. So what? Who cares if you're rejected? That's just redirecting you to somewhere else, right? So I cannot rob you of that experience. So I cannot tell you that. Yeah. But I will encourage you to just ask him out. Say, hey, I know this is awkward. I feel awkward. I feel weird. I feel some kind of way, but like, I really like you. I want to ask you out. What say you? You know, whatever, however you ask, right? But I hope that, yeah, you know, just because I'm intuitive and giving readings, I can't always just give people the answers they want, because sometimes that would rob them of the experience that they need to have in order to come back into their own alignment, their own power, their own sovereignty. And I'm not here to rob anybody of that. Okay? So my dears, you're welcome. I'm glad it makes sense. So thank you for understanding and being open to that. So my dears, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. That concludes me for tonight. I will be on tomorrow, giving more readings, Friday night as well. So feel free to watch me then. Feel free to watch the, what do you call them? The replays on my YouTube channel. If you got a reading, or if you just want to go and watch a bunch of readings and stuff like that, I have that there too. So I love you guys. Take care of yourself. Have a beautiful night, and I will see you soon. Thank you guys so much for being here. Bye.